Our story today is entitled, Can't Tell Me Nothing. I seen it for myself. This is a story about a woman that witnessed something early in the morning, something that changed her life forever. Paulette Williams-Givens is here to tell her story on Where Were You? How you doing, Paulette?
Hi, Billy. Hello. How are you?
I'm simply fantastic, and thank you for asking. I know this is going to be like a tender subject, but I'm really glad that you came to share this with us. Where do you want to dig in? We know that this is tragic. Where would you like to start?
I guess I can start shortly from the beginning in the year 2018. So it's been a few years. Actually, Memorial Day weekend, me and my family, we attended a nightclub. We went to the Casbah on 6th Avenue in Aurora for a birthday party, visiting a family member who was there, and we had some out-of-state guests here visiting, and I wanted to take them to one of our local night spots that was black-owned, and, just kind of show off the town a little bit. It turned into a tragedy, a major tragedy that's taken me quite some time to heal from and to grow from.
Right before the tragedy, you all are going out. Your sister was just in town visiting. Who all went with you when you went out that night?
Well, I had my son. I had several nephews. So altogether it was 7 of us.
7 of you all went out at the Casbah.
Well, yeah, I mean, that weekend, it was actually a huge weekend all throughout the city. We had high school graduations going on. So there was a lot of family functions, birthday parties, and gatherings, and some, springtime. And me and my family, we went to the nightclub. We went to the Casbah. We wanted to show family members a good time, as well as us local residents of Aurora, to support the Casbah, where we have been many times and found it to be enjoyable, safe, mature, groove, and things like that. And it did. It turned into a pure D tragic. My son was murdered while we were leaving the nightclub. And unbeknownst, for no reason whatsoever. There was no problems. There was no stepped on anybody's shoes. There was no cuss words. There was nothing. But a fight had broke out in the parking lot where one son was attacked by a group unknown. We have no knowledge of who they were, or we had no knowledge of who they were. And the other son was murdered. Someone went behind my son and shot him in the back of the head, and I was right there as well. A lot of things happened that evening, so I don't want to speculate all of that, but the whole situation was a tragedy. Not just the fact that he died, just how it happened and how it has still been unsolved. Our Aurora Police Department has not solved the case. It is hard to talk about. However, I have grown through it.
What I would like to know, Paulette, is when you all were in the bar, nothing transpired. Nothing to even warn you or prompt you of this. It was just a fight out in the parking lot?
There was some things that transpired in the club. My son, his name is Dejon Williams. He was 37. He and his girlfriend did come after me and my other family members were, already positioned there, but he had some type of discernment for some reason, and he had stated that, we should probably leave. This is what he said to me that evening, and we were not inebriated. I think I had 1 beer. My sister had a Corona beer, and that's, the size of our drinking habits in 2018. And maybe even nowadays. He said, Mom, we should leave. He said, because if one of these NIGGASs happen to disrespect you, I don't want to have any problems. So perhaps he saw someone or something there He had a discernment.
When he said that, there must have been something that put hair on his back or something.
There must have been something, but of course he wasn't around to share that with me anymore after, we left. And through the investigation, of course, the police have said, well, could have been something that had happened, back in high school, I don't know. I mean,
Was the police talking about something back in high school?
the police, they try to always go back there and try to say, well, it could be something from 20 years ago, or it could have been something from high school. So that's their way of, I felt like, handling our Black homicide cases. And they too were also tragic that night, the way they handled the situation. So it wasn't just that Dejon was murdered, my son and me there, just how the whole case was handled. But no, he didn't get a chance to tell me why. And I wish I would have listened. Well, I wish we would have walked out of the club right then and there.
So you stayed a little longer?
We stayed a little longer to about 1:45 a.m. last call. He did get a chance. He had a dance with his woman who was there. That's a pleasant memory. And the painful night, he did have a dance, one last dance with his woman, who he lived with at the time. Beautiful young lady. He was beautiful.
Amen.
He was powerful.
Amen.
He gave back to the community. He was a coach. He coached for several different youth teams. He attempted to build everyone he came in contact with to be a better person, to look at life in a different perspective. He was an entrepreneur. He had a lot to give to others. And when I tell you that when we were leaving the nightclub, I don't know what the discernment, what the Harris was. He was like, let's go. Let's go. So, of course, out of the 7 people that were with us, we got one over here, trying to get some chicken from the restaurant that's right connected to the
Getting some chicken, huh? I hear you.
Let me, it was just like God was still in that mess. I'm like, grab him, let everybody, we all going together. We're trying to get to our car and it's quiet. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, other Black men came out behind the tree. They started throwing punches.
Were the punches being thrown with Dejon and you all, or
No.
was someone else wasn't even involved?
Oh yeah, none of us was involved with anything. I mean, no one had did anything, so it's so puzzling. And it's very puzzling how the devil operates. They did attack my other son, who is still living, and because he was there. I had 2 sons, my sister, I had 3 nephews with me, and then my son's woman, Shannon. So altogether, 3 women, 5 guys. And they attacked my other son. It was scary. I did see someone in the crowd with a gun. I saw him. And I really thought they were going to, in my mind, because you're not thinking in the chaos when someone attacks your child. I don't care whether they're grown and it's dark and it's, and even if you've had 1 beer, it's frightening. It's frightening. It's beyond frightening.
Well, Paulette, I know this is going to be difficult. And if it's too difficult, just tell me to quit asking questions. But can you bring us on all the people that was shot? What did they do? And where was your son that lived? And particularly, where were you?
I was there. My sister was there. She was visiting from New York State, getting ready to leave that Monday, Saturday night, May 27, 2018. We're all just there, and it was a crowd surrounding my son, who was on the ground. Punches came out. They started fighting. It was a crowd around them.
Wait, so when you came out, your one
No,
son was already down?
We were all walking together
Okay.
to go to our cars.
And then the one son got in.
Dejon's discernment really frightened me, so we were all like, let's just go. And the fight broke out with my other son, who's living today. There was a crowd. There was a crowd around them. And the people I'm with was around them too. And the last thing I heard, Dejon had said, no one's jumping in. And he was very well built. He worked out in his life every day. He lived in the gym, and he had never got that spirit of working out from being in prison. That's just his life. And I'm glad it was. And someone shot Dejon. Someone was taking pictures with the camera. And when I didn't hear the noise, I didn't hear the gun. I think it was some type of auditory shock where I didn't hear the gun at all. But I saw Dejon fall. My son Virgil, who's still living, he saw him fall. It was, I can't even express, his girlfriend, my son's girlfriend, Dejon's woman, she tried to give him resuscitation. We saw him on the ground. It was devastating. All of a sudden, the police are there and the ambulance.
You saw all of this?
Absolutely.
And where was your son shot?
They shot Dejon from back here, right behind his ear. And the bullet came out on this side of his head to the left temple. Yes.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. And as he fell on his back, I fell on him too. It was horrible. I don't know how any devil could have the audacity to shoot anybody that he doesn't know, because he doesn't know. They don't know us. They didn't know us. I was just in shock, so that's how it was.
Who else? Was your son the only one shot?
No. My sister, Renee, she was shot. A bullet hit her. My nephew, my other sister who lives here, her son was shot. A bullet hit him. And another nephew was shot, and a bullet hit him in his pelvis area. So in his abdomen, he was shot. And rumors are saying that there were multiple shooters. But I personally only saw one man with a gun. And it was dark.
Could you identify him?
I did. I was able to.
And are you saying that they never resolved this?
Nope. What they said, the streets talk. So afterwards, we got rumors of who was responsible for this act. And then it came out to be that he was some high-profile blood from Park Hill, like a general, like he was a military general. And that's that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my Lanta. I have to take a step back because, when we were going through, when we was over there at the church together, you caught me up on history and when they used to come to Mom's church with Ruthie Tyndall. It's like I remember these young men. They were little boys, and
Absolutely.
then to grow up And Dejon was really out in the community, and he really, he was just one of them kind of loving people, always wanting to do the right thing, and it's just mind blowing to know that something like this happened to him. And while you were there, it's surprising that you weren't shot.
You know, the young family member that got shot in the pelvis, in his abdomen area, he's a father, so he has two little children. He was standing right in front of me. So he was standing right in front of me at one point when that fight originally had broke out. You know, to even see a crowd of, anybody surrounding your son on the ground fighting him is one thing. That's traumatic. And it's, easy for somebody to always say what they'll do if it was their kid.
We're going to take a break. Introducing New Me, a very new product for your skin. And for the inside, yes, we have something there for you as well. Together, it is a health choice that I'm sure you will enjoy. Check it out. New Me.
That's one thing, but then to live with the fact that someone's capable of shooting and murdering, because it's the spirit of murder, that's all it is, my oldest son, and he was my friend. He was my friend. We had gotten past the juvenile, you know how you guys, young men are, the
Wait. Are you saying, you guys, you young men, wait a minute. Come on now.
Baby, our black men, it's a whole different challenge to raise them, okay?
Okay.
To get them past that, I'm going to be a player, I'm going to be this, I'm going to, I'm going to be a gangster, I'm OT, I need that Cadillac, and then to raise them to be positive people in the community, to have some low vibration of a group of anybody, not just my child, not just my grown man son, but anybody. But it seems to be happening quite a bit lately. It's another, I did get a chance to see him become a man, and a beautiful man. So I can live with that. I know where he is. I did get a chance to witness Dejon become baptized, several years before his death. It doesn't matter if the police never do their job. I know their job. I don't think their job is to solve or make any attempt to solve Black homicide cases. So I have some bitterness that I'm still working on. I'm glad to see the other family members who have survived, that are thriving, and that they're in their lives, of their children, their wives, and their families. God has given us more. In fact, I have a new grandbaby. His brother has gone through a lot of healing, just like I have, who was there. He's got a son now who's 1 year old, who reminds me and him of Dejon. It's funny how God gives you those type of things.
God just, the enemy takes things away, but God gives you some more to hold on to.
I've had to go with that. I've had to go with that.
Can you touch an emotion that looking there, seeing your baby, can you bring us to what hit your mind? Were you praying? Were you frightened? Were you mad? All of it?
Honey, I was all that and more. Paranoid. That kind of trauma makes you think they're coming to your house. Makes you think that when you're driving to work, they might be behind me because they didn't get me or the rest of the family in. Or because the streets that told me who did it, maybe they're coming to get me so I can't be a witness. It's so much that I couldn't explain it to you right now. It's something that I have had to talk to God about. And I still do.
Tell us about when he passed, that you were pulling together with the community to try to help find these people or bring them to justice.
And new at 10, 6 weeks after an Aurora coach was gunned down in a nightclub parking lot, his family doesn't understand why his killer hasn't been caught. They're talking to Denver 7's Lance Hernandez today. And Lance, frustrated people saw this happen and won't talk.
Well, family members were there when Dejon Williams was shot. They say there were numerous witnesses, and they can't believe that police haven't been able to make an arrest.
Not only that he lived, but he lived for a purpose, Lord God.
Pastor Terrence Hughes is asking for courage. Courage for anyone who witnessed the carnage.
If they don't want to come forward, Lord God, give them the courage to at least tell someone else.
Dejon Williams and his loved ones had just left a family celebration at the Casbah nightclub on East 6th Avenue near Helena when he heard a fight start in an adjacent parking lot.
He tried to stop that fight, and in the midst of him trying to protect his family, he lost his life.
Police say 4 people ended up getting shot. Williams died.
Justice for D.
Today, family members and friends took to the street to draw attention to gun violence and to plead for help solving this case in particular.
But it is extremely frustrating that there were so many people at the incident, at the scene of the crime, that we are still even searching for a suspect.
We're here today in hopes that our rally can prompt some movement.
But it's not easy to identify a gunman when no one wants to talk.
And I think that situations like this put the community in a catch-22.
Theo Wilson says witnesses fear retribution, but that's not their only fear.
They fear that the police won't protect them also. And the other side is that if they don't come forward, then those who did the wrong thing get carte blanche to do it again.
The victim's mom says she's reached out to police and to victims' advocates, but is frustrated by their response and the lack of an arrest.
Whatever they need to do to complete their process, they need to do it.
And the reason I did that, the reason we called a rally, we did have a rally. I guess that's another God moment in that thing. And thank you also for attending. Brother Jeff came out from the community and he helped me through my rally.
Amen.
Okay, and Pastor Topaz came out from Restoration Christian Fellowship.
Amen.
That's where I met her. Sister Charletta, whose son died, everybody knows her. Her child was killed back in the summer of violence, and I got to meet her, and she's with the restorative justice system. Powerful, powerful. Senator Fields came out. Billy Parsons came out. Oh, Reverend Big T. Hughes came out.
Hey.
And, oh my God, from the Ministerial Alliance. So I met some beautiful people there, and the reason I held the rally is because there was so many people there who witnessed my son get murdered. They were taking pictures with their cell phones. My family, my daughter-in-law had to call Facebook and get it off because somebody had took a picture of me falling on my child's body. And he didn't die right then and there. He held on. He held on.
Wow, see, I didn't know that.
Oh, yes, he did. It
Come
was
on now. So he held on.
My baby did not just instantaneously die, but there was a lot of chaos in it. It was chaos at the hospital. It was chaos from the very beginning. If I could have walked out that door that moment he said, "Mom, we should leave," believe me, I would. I'll never go into another one. And you know, that's another piece. Like, God, is this my punishment for going to support a black business up there on 6th Avenue? Should I have been taking him to church? But he had been in church. He did.
I know they had been in the church. I know that for a fact.
He carried a Bible, a basketball, and workout clothes in his vehicle.
You know, my sister, sometimes we can't explain all the things that really happen. We always ask ourselves,
I know.
why this person? You know, out of all these knuckleheads, why this one? Why this jewel? And as a mother, like I said, I can't even, I've never went through that. I've seen people that went through it, but I personally haven't went through that. So all I can do is sympathize with you. I mean, forgive me, but it tears me up inside just to think about a mother on her child with his head like that. And I mean, I praise God for your strength, because it could have knocked you over. You know, you could have went off the chain yourself.
And I wanted to. Okay, I wanted to go find a gun and go find them and do it myself and spend the rest of my life in behind bars, because I definitely didn't want my other son to do any such thing. You know, this is how the devil operates, Billy. I've seen devil, not that was the devil, that was a demonic van. But then afterwards, you know, all the way up to the time we had the rally, I had people whispering in my son's ear, whispering in my daughter's ear, whispering over here, whispering over there. Who did it? Who did it? It was like seeing people wanting my other son to go and take revenge himself so that he could lose his life. Like, the law enforcement wouldn't go get this OG general from across town, okay? And it's not like he was a rocket scientist and he had probably got a record arm's length long. Not my child, not Dejon, okay? Not my other one either. And so, but it was like a demon just came through and just was trying to wipe us all out, because he wanted my other son and my nephews and the rest of the family, go get them. They're over here. They're down there at this nightclub now. Y'all go handle it, since the police won't handle it. Like, you could see them coming. You could see it. You could feel it. Okay? You know, there's so many emotions that go through you. You know, it's like, I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him. But you know what? I'm glad God has carried me through. It was painful. I mean, I think the support of the community too, and Pastor Topaz, you know, I did have to go to counseling. I'm not going to lie. I had to go to counseling. I had to get the pain, the anger, the frustration, the anger and some of the paranoia off my chest. I have no shame in saying that. But that is not the first time I've been in therapy. God's carried me through that pain, and he still is today. There has been so many other murders, so many other mothers. Maybe they didn't get the chance to see their son get killed, but you know what? I'm glad I did, because I don't have no one can come and tell me a lie. Nobody can tell me hearsay. I know exactly what happened from the beginning to the end, to the courthouse, at the police station, to the fact that there will not be a trial. I'm glad I don't have to go through that, because I do know some others who have gone through trial, and that is also another hot mess of a situation and painful. So I'm glad I don't have to do that, and I'm glad I can't even say it's God's will that someone else reaps what they sow. My prayers is those that are responsible, that God changes their life so that they can teach their children to become better human beings. They haven't done nothing but show them something bad, nothing but badness. And that is not anything that I've ever raised either one of mine to do.
No, that was very enlightening for me. That's the approach that we should do. I just did a sermon on that, and the very word Sunday was about how when people do things toward you, can you pray that God do good by them? And here I'm talking about reap what they sow, which that's going to happen too. I believe that because I know it's guys, but I kind of like to get some licks in too. I understand that, but you handled that very, very well. Paulette, I really do thank you for sharing that story. And if there was something that you could leave with us, something you can say about this experience, if someone had to go through this or someone that may have been close to this. We had a guest on here, Michael McLean, and he was left a paralytic. He lived, and the way his mother spoke on that. Is there something that you could pass on?
Oh my God, yes, I've gained so much. And that's a lot of that's unspeakable. So I'm going to go ahead and share this with you. Yes, I have gained stuff. I've always been a nice person. I mean, I've got some days in my life that I haven't always been nice to myself. Let's put it like that. Had some days in my life I wasn't always the best mother, but I have learned how to be a better person. I've been gardening. I work at Denver House, and I know that I give a lot of love to everyone I come in contact with. Because even if it's not about murder or loss, if it's somebody has had a car accident, they may be experiencing physical pain, they come there for a reason. I just try to love on folks. I just ask God to continue to carry me in health and to make me a better person, more understanding. Doesn't mean that I give my ear to everyone in their pain, because I'm still growing through mine. I do know when I need to shut people down. I won't let people come over and complain. I thank God every day. I mean, through my grief journey, I would wake up at the time Dejon was killed. Maybe from the time we walked out the nightclub to the time they pronounced him, and I would go to work on thin air. How I did it, I don't know, but I did. How I didn't hit somebody in the car from being a daze, I don't know. I just got to give it to God. I did. I love how people tell me I make them feel good, and thank you for being kind. So God is sharpening my skills, and I'm grateful for that. I wouldn't be honoring Dejon's life nor any of the victims who were involved in the shooting if I was a nasty Nancy, okay? That's not who I am. That's not who my son was. That's not who my living children are. I still believe that God is still doing more for me.
Hi, Miss Paulette. I'm Patrick Kelly, a friend of Dejon Williams. Yeah, I just want to say, Miss Paulette, that Dejon was a solid brother and he's greatly missed. I met him actually through VO. I had a couple of business meetings years ago. I could tell Dejon was a solid brother, a good businessman, and just a real man's man. Ended up meeting him later on. His lady friend, I believe her name is Janet, and her son played on the same basketball team as my youngest son. I think they were in I want to say 7th or 8th grade, playing club ball. It was a club team that was just starting here in Colorado. I don't remember the exact name of it. But we were practicing out in DTC, and we didn't have a coach that age of boys. And Dejon stepped up to coach those young men, did a good job. They had a pretty good season, pretty successful. And the kids was really enthused to play, taught them a lot. And he showed my son a lot about the game. And my son is still pushing. Like I say, he's a senior in high school, still doing big things with the game and in life. Still have a lot of drive and passion for the game, and Dejon had a part to do with that. And I just really thankful that I had the pleasure to meet Dejon and get to know Dejon. Because as I said, he was a real solid brother, a man's man, and a real stand-up dude. And I just want to say, Paulette, he's greatly missed. We love him, love you, praying for you. You're in our prayers. And we just want you to know that Dejon did a mission when he was here, and he was a great man, and he's greatly missed. And he done some great things, and I just want to say thank you. Like I said, he stepped up. Nobody else wanted to coach those young men. Dejon stepped up to coach those young men and led them through the season and did what he could do, and it was good. Praying for you, and peace and blessings. Love you, and just know that he's in a better place. He's in a better place. And, just thankful for the opportunity. Thank Billy for, asking me to do this. Love you and wish you the best. Thank you.
I just wanted to say to Miss Paulette, I'm just so grateful for that gift that you gave us all in the person of Dejon Williams. You know the whole story pretty much. I met him at 17, getting ready to turn 18 at Aurora Central High School. He was right around the corner from the house on Ironton Street. And, we just connected. And it's been a love affair ever since, man. Just growing up, watching him play basketball, football. He was very athletic, very, just one of those kind of leaders. Just a natural born leader. Had the privilege, man, to be able to work with him for probably the better of 15 years, man. Just an honor for me to be in his life and for him to come into my life. And for you to facilitate it all, it wouldn't have happened without you, so we just want to honor you today, let you know that we love you, pray for you every day, and anything that we can do, we still right around the corner. So it's a blessing. And I heard about, this platform to be able to talk to you. I thought it would be a good place for us to really talk, love and respect you, care for you. And you've always been that concerned mother, a great mom. And I just honor you on today for everything that you gave him. He brought all of it to the field. He became a personal trainer, a coach, a leader, all the different things, man. He was on his way to he built an organization called Built to Triumph. He transformed his entire body. He was helping me with some things. And so sometimes the student becomes the teacher. In that fashion, he did become that. And I'm just so honored, man, for you and Birds and all the grandkids and all that you do on a day-to-day basis. I know it's tough. I know it's still tough. I'm still wrestling with some things, but God has us. He's not gonna put any more on us than we can bear. When all we miss is physical presence, we know that His Spirit is still with us. It's alive and well. So God bless you. I love you. Tell Ken I said hello as well. So we love you. Thank you, Mr. Parsons.
Paulette, it is really nice that you stopped in. And, we're going to take it one step at a time. But I heard you say some things that are true of most people that lived. We went through some things, not just one thing. God brought us through some things, more than one. And if it ever comes an opportunity that you might want to share more with us, would you come again, please?
Absolutely, I will.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, Paulette,
I'm not ashamed of anything. I want to share that with you. I do miss him. I try not to question God. I'm glad I can sleep at night now. I'm glad that I know, God has him and He's got me and the rest of my family. And I definitely have been through some things, and I definitely am not ashamed of anything, not even Dejon's situation.
Amen. Amen. Well, another episode of Where Were You? And we would like to thank our guests for this evening. Also want to thank New Me. New Me helps sponsor Where Were You? So go on and check it out. newme.com/Arkway. Also, go on and hit that like. Go on and hit subscribe. Go on and hit that share. Go on and leave a comment. And if you find anyone that has a story, let me know. And hey, you bless someone today.